Pokémon Emerald, one of my all-time favorite Pokemon games and one of my most played Pokemon games. Starting with the starters, Swampert, Sceptile, Blaziken, and pairing them along with amazing Pokemon like Salamence, Aggron, Wailord, and Gardevoir, you get a recipe for a great time in the Hoenn region. Now instead of playing through Emerald and building a team, what if we only had one Pokemon? Today we're going to do just that, and we're going to try to complete Pokemon Emerald with only one Pokemon. Here's the rules. You can only use the specified Pokemon to battle trainers. There are no limits to how many Pokemon you can have, you just can't battle with them. Battle items and held items are okay, but no healing items in battle. If there are mandatory double battles, you can use another Pokemon, but it has to be your weakest HM Pokemon. Now that we have a good idea what the rules are, let's talk about the overarching goal. The goal here is going to be to see if it's possible to beat the whole game with only one Pokemon. Duh. Along with beating it, I also want to get an average time that completing the game with one character would take. This would become more useful when we get more data points and we can compare run to run. Alright, let's meet our Pokemon that we'll be solo running with. The Pokemon that we're going to be using this run is...
Who's that Pokemon?
Regice. Let's check out their stats real quick. Regice is a beast of a Pokemon with base stats totaling 580. This puts them right up there with every other elemental trio like Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno, with their special defense being their best stat at a staggering 200. Regice can tank some major hits. With the ability Clear Body, moves like Intimidate can't lower their attack, which is always a great thing for us. In Generation 3, Regice does not learn that many great moves. Actually, one of their huge problems relates to their moves, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. We help out the professor who's getting attacked by a Poochyena, and we get to meet our Regice. We are immediately met with a problem here. The only move that Regice knows at level 5 is Explosion. This is a base 250 power move that makes the user faint whenever used. We use our only option that we have, and it seems to work out fine here. We're teleported back to the lab, and Professor Birch lets this 10-year-old kid keep their giant ancient demon ice monster. So, looks like we're good to go. We name it Cuckoo after... Coco? Read this to me. Speak.
Cow.
Cow. Cow? We name our Regice Cow after one of our followers here on the channel, so make sure you guys are subscribing if you want to become one of the next Pokemon in one of the next videos. From here, we need to head to the top of Route 102 and battle Rival 1. May only has a level 5 Torchic, so this should be a breeze. Forgetting that Regice only has Explosion, I head into the battle right away. I used Explosion here to get similar results to saving the professor earlier, and this time instead of winning, I white out and go back home. So what can I do now? I look everywhere to see if there's a place I can get a TM to teach Regice, but without having access to any of the other routes, there's no items that we can get here to help. I thought I'd try maybe PP stalling some of the other wild Pokemon and level up that way. But when you get into a battle with a wild Pokemon, the only move you have is Explosion. That's it. Technically, you are soft locked here and you cannot progress any further. I say technically because this specific Regice is holding a very specific item. This one singular item will help us proceed through the rest of the game. Comment down below if you guys can guess what item this thing is holding. It's not a TM for Ice Beam or anything really cheap like that. Regice is holding one singular Pokeball. A Pokeball, you ask? Yes, a Pokeball. This one item is enough to save our whole run. Because we can't access Pokeballs yet due to us not beating the rival, all we have is one Pokeball. Alright, so I thought this was a kind of a fun little workaround. Now what we're going to do is go to Route 103 and find a very special Pokemon, a Zigzagoon. Now that we found one, all we have to do is catch him. All we have to do is catch him. All we have to do is catch him. There we go. Perfect. Zigzagoon has the ability Pickup, which gives you a 1 in 10 chance to pick up an item after defeating a Pokemon. The items you can get from this are as follows: Potion, Paralyze Heal, Super Potion, Great Ball, Repel, Escape Rope, X Attack, Full Heal, Ultra Ball, Hyper Potion, and a Nugget. Now, how does this help us? Well, it actually doesn't. Yet. We need to first grind Zigzagoon up to level 21. Once they are up to level 21, the table for pickup items shifts over slightly and there are different items. The Potion and the Paralyze Heal go away, and at the end, a King's Rock and Full Restore get put on the end. And one last change happens as well. The nugget gets changed over to a rare candy. This rare candy is able to level up Regice if we can get it. And we only need 4 of them. I say only because it's fucking impossible. Let's see if I can explain the odds while Past Me grinds up a Zigzagoon to get rare candies at 1600% speed. Also, with the Pokeballs being available through pickup, I'm going to catch a few more Zigzagoon just to increase my odds. Alright, my example of how this works is going to be interesting, so please bear with me. Each time you defeat a Pokemon, you have a 1 in 10 chance of picking up an item, so that would be the equivalent to rolling a 10-sided dice and landing on a 1. Or trying to land on a 1, I should say. Well, let's say that you do land on a 1. Now you need to roll to see what item you would get. The rare candy is in one of the rarest slots on the pickup table, at 4%. 4% is the same as rolling a 1, 2, 3, or 4 on a 100-sided dice. Now let's put these both together. Let's do 100 theoretical battles, aka rolling 100 10-sided dice, and for every 1 that we roll, we get to roll a 100-sided dice. We are going to roll 100 10-sided dice. Boom. And for every 1 that we roll, we are going to roll a 100-sided dice. And on this example here, we rolled 6 one-sided dice. So now we're going to clear the old table there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 one-sided dice. And we rolled no 1, 2, 3, or 4. So, no rare candies. So I know what you're thinking. How many do we got to roll to get a 1, 2, 3, or 4? Well, let's see. Let's just roll 20 of them really quick. Oh, we got 1, 4. That's a win. 1, 4. We would get 1 rare candy after 20 10% chances. Alright, so let's see how I'm doing. Wow, not doing so well, huh? Damn. Well, this drags on for a while. Getting enough rare candies took me almost 2 hours on the dot. After using all the rare candies on Regice, we're up to level 9 and we learned Icy Wind. Learning a damaging moves means that we can finally fight our rival. May leads with Torchic. Without Torchic knowing any fire type moves, this is an easy 3-hit KO for us. I do have to mention that our in-game timer is at about 15 hours already, so Regice definitely needs to fly through the game to make a good time. We receive our Pokédex and some legitimate Pokéballs that we're never going to get to use, and we're on our way to Petalburg to talk to our dad and watch Wally catch Ralts. I skip as many trainers as I can, even though I have a lot of trouble doing this. While using some of the repels we got from Zigzagoon, we head to the first gym as fast as we can. We encountered Team Aqua for the first time and we made quick work of them. Having a damaging move with a legendary Pokemon is making me feel pretty invincible. I walk into a double battle here by accident and have to reset really quick just to go deposit my other Pokemon so I don't have to battle with them. Making it through the forest, we make it to Rustboro, home of the Stone Badge. Thinking that this badge is going to be super easy, I waltz right in, dodging all the beginning trainers and go straight for Roxanne. She sends out a Geodude, and this is an easy 1-hit KO with Icy Wind. Up next is another Geodude. This one goes down just as quickly as the first one. Next up is Nose Pass. Forgetting that Rock is not weak to Ice, I expect this to be an Oko here. Welp, looks like it's going to be a little bit harder than I thought. Nose Pass goes for Rock Tomb, which is super effective and completely rocks me in 2 turns. Looks like I'm a little underleveled for this one. I just go and battle the trainers in the gym and then try again. Now instead of being level 12 against the level 15 Nose Pass, I'm level 13, and I put on an Oranberry. We take care of the 2 Geodudes and right away we get back to Nose Pass. We also got a level from the 2 Geodudes, so now we're level 14. The only move we have is Icy Wind, so we start spamming it at Nose Pass as they go for Harden. Harden really doesn't have any effects because we're attacking with special moves. They use Harden again, and our Icy Wind brings them down to just under half, popping its Oranberry, which brings it back up to 3/4 health. We use Icy Wind again and bring it down to half health while dodging an incoming Rock Tomb. Roxanne uses a potion to bring them all the way back up to full health, and we keep firing away Icy Wind after Icy Wind. Nosepass lands its first Rock Tomb, and it does 19 damage. Damn. Roxanne heals again, and we get Nosepass down to half, and we take another Rock Tomb, bringing us down to only 12 health. But our Oranberry gets activated, and now we're right back up to 22 health. All we have to do is live one more Rock Tomb, and we should be okay. Our Icy Wind brings him so close to fainting, and we're just hanging on by a thread. We luckily outspeed because of the speed drops from Icy Wind, and we pick up our first gym badge with only 5 health left. We get the TM for Rock Tomb here, which I'm pretty excited to teach Regice. Until I learn that they can't learn Rock Tomb. Very lame. Well, we are on our way to Dewford Town, which means some of the first battles with Team Aqua and Rival Battle 2. Rival Battle 2, our rival has not improved very much, bringing out a new level 13 Lotad that we nearly one-shot KO. Next up is a level 15 Torchic. If our special defense wasn't so high, I would be a lot more worried about this, but Ember can only do so much damage with how bulky Regice is. Boom, Rival 2 is all complete, and we're going to sail to Dewford Town now that we got this guy's Wingle back to him. This next badge is probably going to be a little bit harder than the last one. With the gym leader only having a level 19 Makuhita, I thought this would be pretty easy on level if I battled most of the trainers, then went for the battle against Brawly. All of the gym trainers were a walk in the park, and I was starting to think that I might just sweep the whole gym no problem, until I was hit with a crit by a Machop, took all but 10 of my health off. I was 3 levels over them, so I kind of realized I wouldn't be able to beat the gym leader that easily. Hey, we're trying to record a video, get back here. Yeah, you, what's even wrong with you anyways? Is something wrong with your sweatshirt? It's just I'm tired of wearing plain black sweatshirts. Well, I got just the thing for you. Wow, thank you, random voice. Well, how could my friends get one? Well, I'm glad you asked. On our website, ourtake.shop, we are selling a limited number of these hoodies. They are all handmade by us here at Our Take for you guys. That's ourtake.shop. Thank you guys so much for all the support this year, and let's get back to the video. I decided to go battle the fisherman and go into Granite Cave to give Steve a letter from Mr. Stone. After completing all that and battling the rest of the gym trainers, I'm headed into the battle with Brawly at level 18. Luckily, we did learn a new move, Curse, which raises our physical attack and defense, but at the cost of a speed drop. We're not quite as high of a level as I wanted, but I thought I would give it a shot. Brawly opens with his Machop, and I start going for Icy Wind. It looks to be about a 2-hit KO. We don't take too much damage from him heading into Meditite. Here I try to curse and raise up my defense a little, but Meditite uses Focus Punch, so without hitting them this round to break their focus, they land 150 base power super effective move right to Regice's forehead. This leaves us with 3 HP. With 3 HP, we go for Icy Wind and we end up missing our attack, which means it's a reset for us here. We go right back in for another attempt. We get to Makuhita this time, and when we hit him with an Icy Wind, we do some very lackluster damage. It looks to be about a 5-hit KO. While chipping away at Makuhita's health, they are setting up bulk ups. After 2 bulk ups, their Vital Throw does enough damage to knock us out in 1 hit. Alright, back to the drawing board with us. I give Regice an Oranberry hoping that a little regeneration would be nice, but it's really not enough to help us out. We need to level up a couple of times before we're good for this battle. In need of finding some trainers, we head to Slateport to battle as many trainers as we can find on the beach. With everyone only having 1 or 2 Pokemon, we don't get as much experience points as I would like, but we settle for what we can get. We do talk to the move tutor here in Slateport and learn Swagger as well. I don't know if this will ever be helpful, but it definitely can't hurt. We don't even have all of our move slots filled. After we're done grinding, I equip a fresh Oranberry and head back into the battle with Brawly with a new strategy in mind. Right away, I use an X special as Machop uses Bulk Up. We go for Icy Wind and we nearly one-shot Machop now. They go for a low kick and that hurts pretty bad, not gonna lie. They heal off all the damage we did to them and we put it right back on with another Icy Wind. But this time, we get a high roll and KO them in 1 move. Out comes Meditite, and I know they have Focus Punch, so we just have to attack right away. Like we thought, they went for Focus Punch, and we broke their focus with an Icy Wind. They heal, we hit them again, bringing them down to where they were before, and we end up taking care of them. Now, here comes Makuhita. We just go for an attack, hoping that the increased special attack will be enough to put them in a good range. It looks like it's about a 3-hit KO, but we don't have that many turns to live because they start bulking up. We miss our next Icy Wind, and they end up hitting us with a +1 Vital Throw, which knocks us out because of our health being lowered by Machop. When I ended the battle against Makuhita, I realized I was really close to leveling up to level 20, and maybe just that 1 extra level would be enough, so I went back and just beat some wild Pokemon really quick. Looking back at it, I probably should have just leveled up a few more times, but I think this can be done technically. I suffer a few defeats from some unlucky crits and misses, but I get on a really good run here when I'm going into Makahito with completely full health. I got the level up that we planned for, and I ended up using Swagger on him this time. They luckily hit themselves in confusion, and we go for an Icy Wind the following turn. Because they hit themselves in confusion again the next turn, they ended up knocking themselves out. Kind of an anticlimactic badge, but, you know, I'll definitely be taking the Knuckle badge. Thank you very much. After beating the gym, they gave us the TM for Bulk Up, and I was really excited to teach Regice Bulk Up, until once again I learned that they can't learn the move. So yeah, looks like we're sticking to Curse. Next up is the Oceanic Museum. There are a few grunts you have to deal with here, but really nothing major. We're going to skip by them for now, until Team Aqua or Magma gets any better. Let's move on to Rival Battle 3. Turns out May's actually packing some heat this time. By packing some heat, I mean their third Pokemon. The first two Pokemon May has is basically just cannon fodder. Against Wingull, I try to curse up a few times to get ready for the Combustion. Cursing up a couple times could be beneficial for living double kicks if Combustion has it. This all works out pretty great until I get confused and start hitting myself in confusion. I decided that the +3 should be more than enough to take a double kick. They send out Combustion and they go for an Ember doing 11 damage. I can take 3 more of these before I faint. My Icy Wind only does a quarter-ish damage, but my Oranberry pops, bringing me back up to over 40 HP. Combustion uses Focus Energy to try to get crits, and we keep just going for Icy Winds. Well, May's Focus Energy strategy works out because on the next hit, they crit and bring me all the way down to 13 health. We hit them with an Icy Wind for the 4th time, and we bring them down to just 1 hit left. Luckily, Icy Wind lowers their speed stat every time you hit them, so on the 5th turn, we actually outspeed and get to go first. This lets us knock out Combustion, but only one problem. There's one Pokemon left. Lombre comes out and goes for Absorb. This only does 2 damage to us. They go for an Astonish that only does 3 damage. We barely don't one-hit KO them, but because of the speed drops, we once again get to go first, beating May with only 8 health. If only May had any better Pokemon. With this rival battle in the bag, we are on to Mauville City, where we have our first battle with Wally. The first battle with Wally is actually like pretty sad, I'm not gonna lie. We just one-shot his Ralts, and Wally is sad that he lost. Here in Mauville, there's a guy who will teach you Rollout, so we picked that up so we have better type coverage. Well, moving on to the Mauville Gym. Knowing that this is an electric gym, I give Regice a Cherry Berry to cure paralysis. Any type of status ailment in the beginning of a fight can just ruin any run that you're having. Voltorb is Watson's first Pokemon. We trade Icy Winds for Shockwaves, and we defeat them, only losing 6 HP. Next up is Electrike. We try to get a rollout going here, and we land our first one doing a tiny bit of damage. But, you know, we keep building on it. Rollout 3 knocks out Electrike, and out comes the Magneton. Now, this is Rollout 4 out of 5, so this should do a lot of damage. What? How can this thing take that so well? We even hit with level 5 rollout and it doesn't even defeat it. That's insane. But I guess it does resist rock, being steel and all. Well, this isn't good. We tried for a Swagger to get some confusion hacks, but it's not working. We ended up going down to Magneton. Magneton's typing is kind of a problem for us because we just don't have anything that's really good against him. Luckily, we have something coming up that will be very good for him. We just need to level up a little bit. We battle the other trainers in the gym, and we end up getting to level 25, where Regice learns the move Super Power. This is a 120 base power move that's a lot like Close Combat, where it lowers some of your stats after you use a very powerful move. This attack lowers your attack and defense, which is exactly what Curse boosts. So it's kind of an even trade, minus the speed reduction. With this new move that is conveniently fighting type for the Steel Magneton, we head back into battle with Watson. Right away we plow through Voltorb and Electrike and make it right back to Magneton. We try our superpower move and it does exactly half of their health. They Thunder Wave us and try to get a paralysis, but we got a Cherry Berry. We go for a second superpower, and because of the attack stat drop, we barely don't knock them out. They heal up and start confusing us with Supersonic, then paralyzing us as well. That's some pretty bad luck there, and maybe we could do better if we curse one more time before going into the fight with Magneton. So, we do just that. We get 2 curses in on Electrike before fighting the Magneton. Because of the speed drops from curse, we don't get to go first, and we do get hit with a supersonic. Oh, but we break through confusion, hitting them with a super effective +2 superpower, one-shotting it with a critical hit. I don't really know if the crit mattered or not, but onto Manectric. Manectric is not nearly as threatening as Magneton, and we just Icy Wind until it gets knocked out. Just like that, we got a Dynamo badge, but more importantly, we got the TM for Shockwave that Regice can actually learn, but I decided to hold on to it for now. That is 3 out of 8 badges done already. While we're trying to become a Pokemon Master and collect all the badges, Team Magma has been trying to wake up the Primal Beast Groudon, and they're really close, so we need to head to the top of Mount Chimney and put a stop to this. With Team Magma having Fire-type Pokemon, it's kind of a problematic matchup for us. But luckily at the moment, they're all too weak to really do much about our Icy Titan. We make it to Tabitha, who wants to put an end to our meddling, but none of her Pokemon are strong enough to do anything about us. But maybe there is someone that can do something about us. Magma leader Maxie. Maxie has a level 25 Camerupt, and I'm pretty nervous about this, to be honest. I luckily crit on my first Icy Wind against Camerupt, and they end up needing to heal because of it. I take a magnitude 8 from Camerupt, and it puts me straight down to 22 health. We take care of their Camerupt, and next up is a Zubat. That's all they got. We easily take care of this Zubat, but I am interested to see how much stronger Maxie's Pokemons get, because that Camerupt could actually be a huge problem for us in the future. While worrying so much about Maxie's Fire-type Camerupt, I must have manifested the next gym battle, because now we're heading to Lava Ridge to get the Heat badge. All of the trainers in the gym are no big deal, because they're damn near 10 levels behind us at the moment. My initial idea against Flannery is to try to curse up a couple of times, then sweep their whole team with rollout for the harder enemies. This seems to be working okay, besides the fact that Numel sets up Sunny Days, and then gets a sun boosted overheat on me, which brings me down to under half health. I get the chance to learn Ancient Power here, but I don't really think it's worth it. With the curses, I'm in a spot where I am slower than everyone else, so I have to take a hit from everyone before I get to attack. Because of this, I just can't live the attacks, and I always get knocked out. One of the main problems we're having here is that the 5th rollout needs to defeat Torkoal, but it's just not getting timed out right. I either get the rollout reset, or I die because I'm slower than everyone else. I try a couple of runs where I use Ancient Power instead, and it doesn't get me any closer to winning. Realizing that the speed drop from Curse is too detrimental, I try using a couple X attacks instead of the Curse. I used 3 of them right away, and then the rollout strategy, and we won the first try this way. The rollouts just went in the perfect order, and the 5th one ending on Torkoal, and we defeat Flannery. Time to meet up with our dad, and try to get our next gym badge, so it's back to Petalburg. Although I wanted to skip the trainers in the gym, you have to fight them to be able to get to the gym leader. We made it through the battles quickly and got to our dad, who congratulated us on making it so far. No amount of congratulations will save him from what we are about to do to him. Knowing that Spinda can confuse us, we just used 2 Icy Winds right away and decided to try to set up in front of the Slaking, whose only real threatening move is Counter. We get 2 curses up before we get put to sleep by Yawn. Once we wake up, we use Superpower to get a hopefully one-hit KO. Okay, looks like we're going to need more than +2 to defeat Slaking in one hit. We curse up to +4 and slam Slaking this time with a super powerful Superpower, taking them out in one hit. Now we use Superpower on Vigroth and Linoon back to back, and everyone's taken care of, and we get the Balance Badge, enabling us to surf. We now head over to the Weather Institute, where Team Aqua is trying to take scientists hostage, but we put an end to that after defeating Shelly's measly 2 Pokemon. Right after this, we have Rival Battle 4. It's kind of weird that May didn't come and help us in the situation, but I guess, they're on their own path in life. May leads with a Pelipper that protects right away. We get a rollout going the next turn, and in 2 hits, Pelipper falls. Combuskin comes out next, and we have a stage 3 rollout for him. This almost one-hit KOs them, but we fall short. Luckily, Regice's defense is also super high, so we take double kicks pretty well. Our next rollout gets the KO, and the next Pokemon that comes out will be taking a stage 5 rollout. This Pokemon is May's last Pokemon, Lombre. Sadly, Lombre uses Fake Out and makes us flinch, stopping our rollout, but one Icy Wind takes him down instantly. Heading north through the route, we end up making it to Four Tree City, where there is an invisible wall blocking the way to the gym. We have to meet up with Steven, who gives us the Devon Scope that allows us to see the blockade, and it turns out to be a Kecleon. I'm guessing this gym will be the easiest for Regice because of our type advantage to the flying Pokemon. Winona. My tactic for the most part is just going to be press Icy Wind to win. And guess what? That works great as we go through defeating Swablu and Skarmory, then Tropius. Because of the water typing on Pelipper, I switched to Rollout. Rollout hits Pelipper twice, and on the third rollout, we miss sadly. We finish Pelipper off with an Icy Wind, bringing us to their last Pokemon, Altaria. Turns out missing rollouts was kind of a blessing in disguise because Icy Wind is 4 times effective against Altaria. We are pretty low on health for being super effective against flying, to be honest. One scary thing is that Altaria does have Earthquake that they can hit us with. Luckily they go for a Dragon Dance, and our Icy Wind defeats Altaria in just one hit. It's nice to have a gym where you can just beat them all in one try. I wish that would happen more often, to be honest. Turns out Team Aqua's at the top of Mount Pyre trying to steal the red orb from the altar. All I'm saying, guys, is you're telling me that the red orb has been on top of here for generations and a group of grunts with level 30 Pokemon can steal this ancient treasure? I mean, 2 level 30 Zigzagoons would take care of these guys easily. I could donate these to you guys. Also, why do these grunts only have 1 Pokemon? Why not give your employees more Pokemon to defend themselves with? Who cares? Back to the solo run. We tried to stop them at Mount Pyre, but guess what? We're too late. But one of them did leave behind a Magma emblem. Ooh. Well, if you bring this Magma emblem to the jagged path on Mount Chimney, you can find a secret entrance to Team Magma's hideout. Magma's hideout is very uneventful, until you get to the boss room where Groudon is sleeping. Talking with Maxie, he wakes up Groudon from its slumber, and it runs away. They seem to blame us for this, and they take us to battle. Mightyena leads their party. We try to curse and start a rollout, but Mightyena uses Roar to bring out our surfing Pokemon, ruining our setup. They keep doing this until they switch to confusing me with Swagger. We get the worst confusion luck, and Mightyena single-handedly takes us out. We reset, and when we come back, we start off with a superpower to try to defeat Mightyena right away. This doesn't even take them out, though it's super effective. I try to start a rollout going, but we get hit with Swagger that makes us hurt ourselves in confusion again. I just reset because I'm getting way too low on the first Pokemon to be able to make it through the rest of this battle. This time, before I go into the battle, I put on a Person Berry that snaps us out of confusion. I'll gladly take that +2 attack raise for free from Swagger. When Mightyena comes out, I just go for Icy Wind, and it goes for Swagger. But this time I become confused, and the following turn it doesn't get healed off. I didn't realize that when I switched my items, it said my bag was full, and that I can't switch my items out. Well, might as well try to make this work. We do get pretty lucky with confusion and defeat Mightyena pretty early with Icy Wind. Next up is Camerupt, and this thing is a whole threat. We are at +2 attack, so I think we should just go for rollouts. We miss, of course, and have to take a Rock Slide doing 43 damage to us. We only can get hit by this 2 more times before we are going to get KO'd. We try to get a rollout going again, and we hit our first one as Camerupt goes for an Amnesia. This raises his special defense, but doesn't really matter, of course, because rollout is a physical type move. Next turn we hit rollout number 2 and take another Rock Slide, putting us deep into the red. We are faster, so rollout 4 takes out Camerupt. Next up is Crobat, who, if we don't miss, is going to take the 5th rollout to their face. Shit, Crobat's faster than us. Oh my god, we live on 2 HP, and we connect the rollout. Let's go, dude. Talk about some good luck there, we deserve that. While Maxie was waking up Groudon, Team Aqua was stealing a submarine to explore an underwater cavern where Kyogre is suspected to be. We head to Lily Cove City to search for them. Outside of the department store is our rival, who has a new and improved team with the addition of Tropius. Well, turns out Tropius is 4 times weak to ice, so there goes Tropius. This brings out our worst matchup, Combuskin, but something pretty weird here is that Combuskin's level up moveset gives Combuskin Peck, Sand Attack, Quick Attack, and Bulk Up. That's it. So really, Combuskin can't do anything to us other than kick dirt in our eyes. So we just try to start up a rollout, and it proves to work, taking them out in 4 turns. The next Pokemon to come out is Pelipper, that protects on our final rollout, which is a huge bummer. That's okay. But one Icy Wind with a crit takes it out right away. Ludicolo's up next and has the same fate as Pelipper, getting Icy Wind a couple times. With Rival Fivel done, we now need to storm Team Aqua's hideout to stop them before they get to Kyogre. Not knowing where the cavern is, of course, we head to Moss Deep City, where the 7th badge is located. This badge, in my opinion, is kind of controversial. I would really like to hear what you guys think we should do for it. We have no problem with any of the gym trainers, but the gym leader is a mandatory double battle. This means that no matter what, you have to bring another Pokemon with us. Bringing the second Pokemon isn't a big deal, but the 2-on-1 is a big deal in my opinion. Also, what happens if, instead of using a legendary Pokemon like Regice, what if we're using Caterpie? Caterpie cannot do a 2-on-1, especially with the moves that these Pokemon know. I don't really find this battle fair at all, so should I give myself 2 of the same Pokemon? Or should I just see if I can do the battle with one person? Or can I just bring a random Pokemon or something? I don't know. Please tell me what you guys think we should do for this. Comment down below what you guys think we should do for this. But in the meantime, I just bring a level 8 Zigzagoon that dies instantly to Psychic. Tate and Liza lead off with Claydol and Xatu. Claydol does know Earthquake, which could hurt pretty bad. Because Icy Wind can damage both of them and is super effective to Xatu, we choose to go for that. We trade Icy Winds for Earthquakes and Psychics. We end up defeating Claydol, but the amount of damage we took makes it so then we are not able to defeat the rest of their party. We end up getting taken out from Solrock using a Sunny Day boosted Flamethrower on us. That's terrifying. We try to change up the approach by using Rollout on Xatu while eating Earthquakes from Claydol. We don't even get past one of them and we need to restart. The same thing happens to me next time as well. I'm thinking we're going to need to do something drastic to make this battle work for us. I put on a couple of X specials and start to Icy Wind. This makes it a 2-shot on Claydol, but we still get taken out from Xatu. I try putting on an Oranberry to maybe give us a little bit more health. I try again with the same 2 X specials and start to Icy Wind on turn 3. With a little over half health and our Oranberry already used up, we defeat Claydol in 2 turns, but once again, when the Solrock comes out, we lose to Flamethrower. I think we're going to need to change some stuff up before we can beat this gym. I head back to Lily Cove City and buy the TM for Blizzard, hoping that this will just be a more powerful Icy Wind that can defeat both of them at the same time. I head right back into the battle with Tate and Liza, and I use the 2X specials, but when I use Blizzard instead of Icy Wind, it hits way harder. This takes out Claydol and Xatu in one fell swoop. Next up is Solrock and Lunatone. I use Blizzard on them, and it barely doesn't take out Solrock, and it misses against Lunatone, of course. Solrock uses a sun-boosted Flamethrower that puts us in the deep red. Lunatone is next, and luckily misses a Hypnosis. We don't have any other option other than just going for Blizzard again, but before the turn ends, Solrock heals using a Citrus Berry that barely takes him out of the potion range. We blast off another Blizzard and it kills Solrock and brings Lunatone down to just a 3rd health. Lunatone only has 1 damaging move, so we're just kind of praying that it does something stupid here. Lunatone uses Psychic and knocks us out, of course. Looks like we just need to try that over again. I kind of think we should just do the same thing and it should work out for us. We use 2X specials and we start to fire off Blizzards. We knock out only Claydol because of it missing Xatu. This brings out only Solrock. Because Xatu uses Calm Mind, it lives the next Blizzard. This makes it so I'm attacking Solrock and Xatu at the same time. 2 Blizzards take them out, and now only Lunatone is left. I just keep using Blizzard and end up getting a crit on Lunatone to beat Tate and Liza. One thing that really sucks is that I thought I could reteach Rollout to Regice, but I guess the move tutor only teaches your Pokemon the move 1 time. So looks like I'm not getting a Rollout back for the rest of this run. Here lies Rollout. Rollout, you will be missed. Before I continue, I switch out Blizzard for Shockwave so I have better type coverage. I can always re-buy Blizzards if I need to, so no worries there. Next up, we get to go to the Space Center where we get to see Maxie have a whole character conflict where they question everything that they've been doing up to this point. But either way, we have to do a double battle with Maxie and Tabitha. The game does give us Steven as a partner, which is pretty sick. We head into battle and decide to set up some defense and attack with Curse. While we're setting up, Steven's Matang takes out Camerupt. We get confused for a few turns and start hitting ourselves in confusion, unfortunately. We eventually break through confusion and use an Icy Wind, doing a third to one of the Mightyanas. I continue to Icy Wind and we take out one of the Mightyanas. Coming out next is the stronger Camerupt. I set up good for this moment and hit Camerupt hard with a superpower. Matang takes out the Mightyana with a Metal Claw as well. This brings out Golbat and Crobat. This is the best matchup for me with Icy Wind, so one Icy Wind later and we've beaten Team Magma. Oh wait, 1 second. We got confused. Oh great, we hurt ourselves in confusion. Like I was saying, one Icy Wind okay, we hurt ourselves in confusion again. Oh god, come on, bro. Breakthrough here. Okay, we connect, good thing. Okay, 3 Icy Winds later and we take out the Golbats. Oh, 1 second. Turns out Crobat's a little more defensive than I thought it was. It only did a third of its health. Weird, because this turn of Icy Wind takes it out completely. Huh. Maybe just some really high and low rolls there, but I'm just happy we won. We get Dive from Steven at his house after the battle, which allows us to make it to Pseudopolis. But before that, we need to head to the Seafloor Cavern to try to stop Archie before he wakes up Kyogre. Once again, we plow through all the trainers that are only carrying one Pokemon. Bro, there are tons of Pokemon in the cave. Just catch 5 random Pokemon and bring them to the PC and then go back to your post. It's free Pokemon. What, at most they cost $200 for a Poké Ball? The weirdest thing is that this is late game and no one has more than 3 Pokemon. Even Archie, who is waking up a legendary Pokemon, only has 3 Pokemon with them. Talking about Archie, let's see what he's got. Archie leads with a Mightyana that somehow can live a superpower from a legendary Pokemon, but you know, that's okay. They use takedowns that don't do too much damage. He ends up healing with a super potion. A super potion? That's all you got? You can't even buy a hyper potion? These people must be broke. No wonder everyone only carries 1 Pokemon with them. Their organization has no money whatsoever. We end up taking them out with an Icy Wind, and next out is Crobat. Crobat uses Confuse Ray on us, which completely ruins us. We repeatedly hit ourselves in confusion, and while we do that, they keep chipping away at our health with wing attacks. We actually end up going down because of this too. We retry the battle right away and decide to use Curse 1 time before Superpower to keep up our defense. On second thought, instead of using Superpower, let's just go with Icy Wind. We defeat Mightyana in 3 turns. Crobat comes out next, and of course we're going to get crit by a wing attack. This brings us down to 1/3 health, but our Icy Wind brings them down to healing range. With them only healing with super potions, our next Icy Wind knocks them out. Sharpedo comes out and looks like I've been saving this +3 superpower for him. They go first, hitting us with Slash that barely does anything, but our health is pretty low. Our superpower absolutely destroys them, and he goes down. Oh, I forgot about Rough Skin. Ah, okay. It only did 9 damage. Good thing. We beat them, but it's too late to save Kyogre from waking up. Kyogre swims out of the cave to go fight Groudon. This battle happens right in front of the Cave of Origin, which happens to be in the middle of Pseudopolis. Alright, here comes the most epicest part of Pokémon Emerald. When I was 10 years old, this shit blew me away. Here it is. Alright, now that Rayquaza made them stop fighting, everything just goes back to normal. Archie and Maxie are like, ah, shit. Huh, looks like I shouldn't have done that, huh? This also opens up the final gym. This gym is all about water. Frozen water, that is. The matchup is alright for us because we have Shockwave, otherwise this could be a pretty big struggle here. I also want to note here that Juan, the 8th gym leader, only has 5 Pokemon. We don't even get to face a full team of 6 yet. He opens with a Love Disc. Interesting choice, I guess. We use 3X specials right away and just start using Shockwaves. Wishcash comes out, but we have an Icy Wind for him. This is a 2-shot, and all he does is set up Rain and then hits us with a weak Earthquake. Celio is next and goes down to 1 Shockwave. Crawdaunt is up next, and the same goes as Celio. Kingdra is their last Pokemon, and we use a Shockwave on them, and it only does half their health. It turn 1 rests and wakes up with a Chesto Berry. That's very odd for a trainer to do, just saying. We just keep spamming Shockwave until Kingdra goes down. With this last badge, we have all the badges, and we are all set to go for the Elite Four. This is pretty great. I decided to make it through Victory Road before I start to prepare for the Elite Four, so I head over to Evergrande City. Right when we step into Victory Road, Wally walks up for a rematch. He really has come a long way with his team. Wally leads with an Altaria that is 4 times weak to our typing, which is convenient. Next up is Delcatty. This little cat monster uses Tri-Attack on us and burns us. Getting any type of status ailment basically ruins the whole match, like I was saying in the beginning of this video. Looks like we need to retry this right away. Altaria comes out and feints to a singular Icy Wind. I use Icy Wind on Delcatty, but this time they use Sing on me and they put me to sleep. This is way better than getting burned. And when we wake up a couple turns later, we knock them out with another Icy Wind. Magneton comes out next and we weaken it with Icy Wind, but they end up confusing us with Supersonic. We go for Superpower and manage to break through the confusion and pick up a KO as well. Next up is Roselia, who barely lives in Icy Wind. They use Leech Seed and start to sap our health away. Leech Seed is another thing just like a status ailment where if it happens too early in the battle, you're just done. They heal up next turn and our Icy Wind does not connect because we hurt ourselves in confusion. We luckily snap out of confusion this turn and connect an Icy Wind. Instead of leaving Roselia low on health, this just knocks them out. Wally sends out his ace Gardevoir, and we are still getting sapped by Leech Seed here. We don't have any super effective moves, so we just go for Icy Wind. Gardevoir goes for Double Team to increase their evasiveness. This could be bad if we miss, we'll most likely go down from Leech Seed. Our Icy Wind luckily connects, but unluckily only does a quarter of their health. Along with Leech Seed healing back the damage we done, I don't think we're making it through this battle. We try everything we can, but the Leech Seed while we get damaged is just too much for us before we defeat Gardevoir, so we have to reset and try again. This time when we go into the battle, I use an X special right away. This one small change makes it a 1-hit KO for Altaria, Delcatty, and a 2-hit KO for Magneton, and only a 1-hit KO for Roselia. Now all that's left is Gardevoir. 2 Icy Winds later and we defeat Wally. This is the moment in the playthrough where I think I'm going to change the rules for the future runs and including the rest of this run. The rule that I want to change is that I'm not using X items anymore. If I need to become stronger, I will grind up a little bit before the battle. I think that the X items will mess up the time records for the Pokemon, so I'm going to stop using them. Comment down below if you think this is a good idea or if you think I should just keep using them. Well, the rest of Victory Road is pretty simple, so we make it to the Elite Four. Alright, so here's the prep. There's quite a bit of preparations I need to do before I'm going to feel comfortable going into the Elite Four. First thing I need to do is go to Mauville City, where Watson needs us to go to New Mauville City to shut off the generator. Doing this gives us the TM for Thunderbolt. Next up is going to the abandoned ship to grab up Ice Beam. I don't plan on using this until I get to the Dragon Gym Leader, so I don't use up all my PP. After that, we head to Pseudopolis, where we grab up the TM for Karate Chop. This might be useful, and it's better to have it and not use it than need it and not have it, you know what I'm saying? Next up is the Quick Claw from the Battle School in Rustboro City. The last 2 items we need to grab up are in the Trick Room on Route 110. Completing 7 of these puzzles gives us the Magnet and a PP Max. The Magnet makes electric type moves do 10% more damage. Oh yeah, before I fly back to the Elite Four, I also buy Blizzard and Thunder again. I'm thinking that I should grind up to level 60 before going in here. I know that the champion's best Pokemon is level 58, and I think having a couple of levels on them would probably be a good idea. I end up only grinding up to level 59, because I'll probably gain a level or 2 throughout the Elite Four. So here goes attempt number 1. We head into our first battle against Sydney, the Dark type specialist. They lead with a Mightyena. We use Icy Wind to do over half, and they attack back with a double edge, doing around 30 damage to us. The next Icy Wind takes Mightyena out. In comes Absol. We use Curse to boost our superpower attack next round, and they go for Swords Dance. This could be bad here. Absol hits us with a +2 super effective Rock Slide. This brings us just under half health. Next up is Shiftry, who uses Torment. Torment makes it so then we're not able to use the same move back to back. Our Icy Wind brings them to the brink of death, but they hold on long enough to heal with a full restore. Because we're under Torment, we have to go for a Shockwave that barely does any damage. Shiftry uses Double Team, but we still connect with our Icy Wind. Cacturne comes up next, and because of the Torment, we still need to switch back to using Shockwave again. Cacturne uses Feint Attack that only does 10-ish damage. We use Icy Wind the next turn, and we pick up an easy KO. Crawdaunt is up next. He uses Swords Dance right away, and we use a Curse to boost up Superpower. They get greedy and go for a second Swords Dance, and we take them out with a Superpower. The next Elite Four member is Phoebe. Phoebe. There are a ton of things that can go wrong here for us, like them using Curse on us, or us running out of PP because Dusclops has the ability Pressure, Confusion, Burn, all sorts of things. We switch Icy Wind out for Ice Beam now. We use the PP max we got from the Trick Room on Ice Beam, bringing it all the way up to 16 PP. Phoebe leads with the aforementioned Dusclops. Dusclops protects first turn, and second turn goes for Curse. Curse drains our HP the following 3 turns, and we just straight up white out. If Dusclops ever hits us with a Curse, it's an instant reset. I guess that's it for that run. Attempt 2. While brainstorming and looking over my bag items, I see that I have 2 rare candies that I haven't used, so I just throw those on Regice really quick. Hoping this gives me just a little bit of an edge, we head right back into battle. We make it through Sydney the same as we did the first time, with no trouble whatsoever. Back to the battle with Phoebe. Dusclops goes for a Protect against our Ice Beam. What a blunder on our part. Next turn, we go for Ice Beam, and they go for Confuse Ray. We don't really have many options, so we just keep firing off Ice Beams. They Protect again, which that sucks, and we end up actually hurting ourselves in Confusion. Next turn is, you guessed it, more hurting ourselves in Confusion, along with them hitting us with a Shadow Punch. Luckily, we are really bulky, so we eat Shadow Punches pretty good. We try to go for Ice Beam this turn, but they Protect again. Every time we use Ice Beam, it uses up 2 PP because of Dusclops' ability Pressure. We're down to half PP with Ice Beam, and we only used it 4 times. We go for Ice Beam one more time, and we finally snap out of Confusion and connect. This knocks out Phoebe's Dusclops. You will never guess who's coming out next. Yep, another Dusclops. This one doesn't have Curse or Protect, but it does have Rock Slide that we have to watch out for. We go for Curse to try to increase our defense, and of course they crit with a Rock Slide. We take them out after a couple of rounds, but our health is so low, we're never going to last through the next 3 Pokemon. These all go the same. We make it to Phoebe, but we don't have a good answer for Dusclops. On attempt 6, we Curse in front of the first Dusclops, and that helps a ton on the second one. Having the increased defense makes the Rock Slides do way less damage. On attempt 7, we Curse up in front of Dusclops 3 times while they go for Protect, Shadow Punch, and Shadow Punch. We go for Ice Beam on the 4th round, but they use Protect sadly. We try Ice Beam again, but they double Protect. But don't worry, the game makes it up to me by giving me a crit on my next Ice Beam. This one-shots the Dusclops, and when the next Dusclops comes out, its Rock Slides do barely any damage. We Ice Beam and we do over half damage. This pops their Citrus Berry and heals them back up to green. We go for a Shockwave here because we don't want to get them into the red and trigger a full restore. Shockwave brings them right underneath half health. Not knowing if Ice Beam will finish them off, we go for Shockwave again just to make sure we don't waste our power points. Now it's down to 1/3 HP and we can go for Ice Beam. This knocks out the second Dusclops. On to Banette. We open with Shockwave doing around 1/3 health, and Banette goes for a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does barely any damage to us, and our Ice Beam knocks them out next turn. Sableye up next, and we do the same Shockwave Ice Beam combo to take them out. Sableye does hit us with a Nightshade that does 50 damage to us. Their last Pokemon is another Banette, and now that we're getting low on HP, we just go for Ice Beams right away. This luckily KOs them in just 1 hit. We heal Cow up and replace Shockwave for Thunderbolt. We also put on that magnet that boosts electric type moves by 10%. Looks like we are prepared as we're ever going to be. Glacia, the ice specialist, leads with Celio. We try to hit Celio as hard as we can with a Thunderbolt, and it lives that. Great. That is 1 fat Celio. We go for Ice Beam for a little bit of chip damage while they heal Celio back up with a full restore. The chip that we did is just enough to ensure that we get a KO with the second Thunderbolt. Next up is their Ace Walrein. We use a Thunderbolt and it brings them down to 1/4 HP. This pops Walrein Citrus Berry, bringing them up to the perfect range to not get healed up. We click Thunderbolt again and down goes Walrein. Gallade is up next and it's kind of a problem. Although it doesn't have any good moves to hit us with, We also don't have any great moves to hit them with. We just go for Thunderbolt again. Their turn, they put up a light screen, which increases their special defense. I decide I'm going to curse up in front of them and start firing off superpowers. I hit Galea with a +3 super effective superpower. This knocks him out right away. Next up is Celio, and just in time for the light screen to wear off. Thunderbolt connects and takes him out in one shot. The last Pokemon is another Galea, and we have just the answer for them. Another superpower right to their big ball head, and we beat Glacia first try. That's amazing. Next up is Drake, the Dragon-type trainer. This should be a great matchup for us, having Ice Beam and all. This next battle is my favorite battle I've had so far. Just watch this. That's right, 6 back-to-back Ice Beams for the win. The definition of press A to win right here. It really feels good to destroy one of these Elite Four members when they give us such a hard time. I'm hoping that the final trainer, Wallace, is as easy as this. It is a water-type Pokemon after all, and we do have Thunderbolt and Thunder. Talking about Thunder, right after this battle I teach it to Regice along with Blizzard. With Thunderbolt, I don't see Wallace, the water-type champion, being that difficult. I equip the magnet and get ready for the battle. Wallace leads with Wailord. I hit the giant whale with a Thunderbolt, doing almost all of their health. Wailord goes for a Rain Dance, which is exactly what I was hoping for, and I'll show you why in just a couple turns. I hit another Thunderbolt, bringing them right back down to the red after they healed. The next Thunderbolt finishes Wailord off, and next up is Tentacruel. When everyone is covered in the heavy rain of Rain Dance, the move Thunder becomes 100% accurate instead of the unreliable 70%. This is great news for us because one massive Thunder on Tentacruel and we should... fuck. That's it? Didn't even kill in one shot, what the heck? Worst of all, Tentacruel used Toxic, and now the clock is ticking on Regice. Turns out Tentacruel is super bulky. Another Thunderbolt takes out Tentacruel, and Ludicolo dances their way to the stage. Once again, any status ailment basically calls this game. We push through as far as we can, but I don't see us beating them while being poisoned. I go for another Thunder, and it's not even enough to bring it down to half HP. Ludicolo goes for Double Team, increasing his evasiveness. With Thunder being such low accuracy already, we most likely won't be hitting them now that the rain stopped. And just like we thought, they healed up, we missed our Thunder, and we went down from poison. This is really bad, to be honest. We can't get hit with Toxic here, otherwise it's game over. I put on the Quick Claw to try to maybe go first and get the KO before they attack, but we'll see how this goes. This is attempt 8. Wailord goes the same as the first time, and next up is Tentacruel. He hits us with Toxic and goes down the following turn. Ludicolo comes out and sets up double teams. This makes us miss our moves and we go down from Toxic. This time I'm going to try putting on a Pecha Berry to cure poison right away. We take out the Wailord, and this time when Tentacruel goes for Toxic, we heal it off right away. We get in a Thunder and bring them down below half health. They now go for a rain boosted Hydro Pump, but miss luckily. We defeat Tentacruel without getting Toxic. Now when Ludicolo comes out, I think I should try using Ice Beam instead of Thunder. This actually does over half damage. This is great, one more Ice Beam and we should knock them out. Down Ludicolo goes. Out next is Whiscash. Because of its ground immunity, we have to go for our Ice type moves. We end up going for Blizzard, but we miss of course. They use Earthquake, dealing an astounding 50 damage to us. We try Blizzard again and it does connect this time. This does do over half of their health, and one more Blizzard would seal their fate. We get hit with another Earthquake, chipping us down into the deep yellow. One more Blizzard should do it, but we miss. We get hit by another Earthquake, bringing us into the red, and we go for a Blizzard, and guess what? We miss again. Looks like our lack of eyeballs makes us lose this match. I would say everything went pretty well, we just need to not get that many misses. This time, Wailord never sets up Rain before getting KO'd. Tentacruel does not use Toxic this time, but instead goes for Sludge Bomb. They don't really need to go for Toxic because turns out Sludge Bomb poisons us. Our Pecha Berry pops and we miss Thunder this turn. Classic. Next turn they go for Toxic, and looks like it's an instant reset for me. We try to hit Wailord with a Thunder to take them out in one shot, but it's just not enough damage. They go down from recoil from a double edge though. This time, when Tentacruel comes out, they go for a Sludge Bomb again. We don't get poisoned this time, which is great, and we retaliate with a Thunder, dealing over half damage and paralyzing them. Because of this, we outspeed them and knock them out the following turn. So far, this is the best run going into Ludicolo with 120 health. We go for a hard-hitting Ice Beam, but then something terrible happens. We get hit with Leech Seed. Leech Seed is damn near as bad as getting Toxic, and there's no berry that can heal this. Although this is detrimental to the run, we try to push on. We hit them with Blizzard and get the KO, but it seems like we only have 4 more turns before Leech Seed takes us out. The Blizzard does take them out, which is great news for us. Next up is the Bulky Fish, who catches a Blizzard from us. And we get a lucky Freeze. This is huge. We might be able to clutch this one out. A turn 1 Thaw. And a Blizzard miss. That sucks. Well, we need to find out how we can avoid Leech Seed. It's kind of interesting because it seems like it's just random chance if the AI chooses a random move. Well, let's roll the dice again. We take off the Pecha Berry and we just use the Magnet, and chance Tentacruel hitting us with a Toxic. We destroy the Wailord with Thunder and knock them out in 1 hit. Next up is Tentacruel. We get hit with a Toxic, but we heal it off. Wait, I thought I changed it out for a Magnet. Dang it. I messed it up. Alright, attempt 13. This time I just keep the Pecha Berry on. Of course that means Thunder won't one-shot, so we have to chip and then go into Thunder, then that takes care of Wailord. Tentacruel does a Hydro Pump this time, which is amazing for us. We get a Thunder in, and another Thunder takes them out. They go for Hydro Pump again. Not as good as if they just would go for a Toxic, because we are holding a Pecha Berry, but it works. We took them out, and now we are on to the Leech Seeding Ludicolo. We use Ice Beam when Ludicolo goes for a double team. Sadly, the Ice Beam doesn't even do half damage. We get 1 more Ice Beam in before it happens. Yep, a Leech Seed. Well, let's reset. 14. Just too much damage got put on me. Attempt 15. Double poisoned by Tentacruel. Attempt 16. Missed a bunch of attacks and get double poisoned. Great. Got Leech Seeded. Attempt 18. We had a really good run, but ended up missing 3 times in a row on Wish Cache, and we get Earthquaked into the grave. Double poison. Double poison. Die from a crit Earthquake by Wish Cache. Alright, this looks like it might be the one. Thunder takes out Wailord, we don't get poisoned by Tentacruel, no Leech Seed from Ludicolo, and Blizzard connects on Wish Cache. Wow. This is the first time that we've ever made it to this part. Gyarados is coming out, which should be an easy clap with a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt connects and destroys Gyarados. Milotic is next. I think the play is just to hit the bulky Milo with Thunders until it falls. They do outspeed us, and we get hit by a Surf. Luckily, and luckily is a pretty loose term here, it does 31 damage. So there's a chance that we could live another one if it's a low roll. Thunder connects, and all we have to do is do at least half damage. We crit! That's amazing. Does the crit matter? Does it? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Let's run a calc on this really quick. Oh, 100% that crit mattered right there. This is awesome. I'll take that. That's amazing. Over 20 attempts and we did it. We beat the Elite Four with only Regice. Regice, the icy heavy hitter, clocks in at a long 30 hours and 21 minutes. To be fair, 14 hours and 58 minutes of that was me grinding to get enough rare candies to be able to have a move in the beginning of the game. Technically, the run is impossible, so I'm going to rank them right here up at the top with a 1523, but with a little asterisk next to the time. I'm very interested to see how other Pokemon hold up to this number. If there's any Pokemon you want to see me try out in Pokémon Emerald, please comment down below, and whichever Pokemon gets the most likes, I'll make sure to do an attempt with them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this style of content, make sure to drop a like below. You guys are honestly the greatest, and I appreciate you guys a lot.